Okay. For anybody that is unaware, I'm sorry if you can't hear me that well. For anybody who's unaware, on October 2nd, 2020, Tyrus Jones was shot by the Rockford Police Department while running away. He was shot in the back multiple times. The police officer who shot him was allowed to go free. The police officer who shot him was put back to work. The police officer who shot him was told he did everything right. The state's attorney at the time, Marilyn Hyde Ross, and the Boone Integrity Task Force, along with the mayor and chief of police, all either came forward and encouraged what was done and said it was the right thing to do, or stood idly by instead and was silent. So we're complicit. And so we came out to City Hall on October 3rd in 2020, and we have stayed occupying City Hall since then. We have lived out here 24/7. It has always been somebody from the May 30th Alliance outside of the City Hall in Rockford, Illinois. On April 10th, 2021, Winnebago County Sheriff's deputies entered the home of Faustin Guetigo. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing his name right. And they murdered him in his home. On April 11th, the Rockford Police Department shot Jose Gonzalez as he was running away. A teenager, 19 years old. They shot this teenage young man. And so we have been outside of City Hall for now 194 days, I believe. Excuse me if we don't have the number right, because we knew this exact thing was happening. And instead of taking heed to what we have been saying, instead of taking heed to the things that we've said, the mayor and the people who work inside the mayor and the people who work inside the City Hall have weaponized the police against black and brown people. They have weaponized the police against middle-aged, elderly people, white people. They have weaponized the police against anybody who tried to bring awareness to the fact that they work for a city government that endorses violence being done on a state level. Everybody who gets a check out of here, because this is the same place where they have meetings and they sign checks after a murder happens. When they decided to give Philip Johnson's family money, I don't know who exactly. I don't know the specifics of Philip Johnson's case. I'm just saying that Philip Johnson, for example, was murdered, and inside of this building, they voted in City Hall as to whether or not they should settle on the lawsuit. So this is the place right here. This is the place where Rockford business gets handled, and we have business with Rockford. As community members, we all have business with Rockford. Everybody should know Jose Gonzalez's name. The same way that everybody should know Faustin Guetigo's name. The same way that everybody should know Jordan Davis' name, and Michael Brown name, and Trayvon Martin name, and Freddie Gray name, and Sandra Bland name. All their names. It's a shame we even got to go through this. Dante Wright's name now. George Floyd's name. Demetrius Bennett's name. So we got to make sure that people in our city names is known. We need to make sure that people know Jose's name and know that they shot this 19-year-old young man, and now they got him sitting in jail. After being shot, after sitting there Gestapo police officers to try to attempt to murder him, because that's what they did, because we know that these police officers shoot to kill, and I hate to have to say that, but that's a fact. We know that they trained to shoot to kill. The mayor of the city put out a Facebook post. After a teenager is shot down in his city, he puts a Facebook post up. A Facebook post. The mayor of the city ran unopposed. Blood is on his hands. He had an opportunity. This man had an opportunity. These people inside of here had opportunity to try to help shift the culture of this shit. I gotta stay. We're later. Different day. Had an opportunity to shift the culture of this city. This city could have been an example for the right way to go about trying to change things before George Floyd's incidents took place again. When George Floyd was murdered, when May 30th took place, and people went out to protest, home people see where we at. We outside of City Hall. when people went out to protest, it could have been an opportunity for this city to have a cultural shift. It could have been an opportunity for us, this city, to be an example of how you handle things and how you go about actually listening to marginalized communities, and how you go about actually trying to end and cease police terrorism. Instead, they prosecuted, arrested people, assaulted people, harassed people, terrorized people, and now here we are. Not even a year since George Floyd was murdered. Not even a year since George Floyd was murdered. And 3 people have been shot while in this city. 1 person murdered. And this has happened too. Don't forget that this happened. Don't forget this happened. This city, we said a long time ago, it was a march we had. And we told people this city was being judged. This was back after George Floyd was murdered. We told this city they was being judged. They was being judged the same way Sodom and Gomorrah was judged. The same way Sodom and Gomorrah was judged. And this city has came up wanting. This city has been weighed in the balances and has came up wanting. A teenager, and they trying to sweep it under the rug, pretend like it didn't happen. The mayor won't even have a press conference. 3 people has been shot and then he's gonna pretend like the shooting in Winnebago County has nothing to do with him. It's out of his jurisdiction. It don't got nothing to do with him. So he won't even pretend as if what happened to Faustin has anything to do with him. Shot by cops, teenager. They got him sitting in jail. Jose Gonzalez. So we outside of City Hall. So when a lot of people wonder things, we want to make sure that people understand things all the way clearly. No, it has been over 30 times of instances of use of force or dying in custody in Rockford or in Winnebago County, and no officers have ever been found guilty. No officers have ever been found to be unjustified in the shooting. So no officers have ever been found to be unjustified in any shootings here. No officers have ever been found to be unjustified. Every shooting that has ever taken place within the Rockford, Illinois, Winnebago County, anything that the Winnebago Boone Integrity Task Force has ever investigated, it's been justified. It's been justified, and then it's been swept under the rug. It gets no national news. It's been some cases that got a little national tick, but for the most part, they sweep these things under the rug. It's no national news. Nobody knows the names of these people who were murdered here, and that's how they like it. That's how they like it. They like it to be quiet and for nobody to know that these things happening. They don't even want people in our own city to know what's happening. No more of that. Them days is over. Those days are over with. On Friday, on Friday, outside City Hall, we will have a vigil. Come out here, say their name square. Friday, we will have a vigil. It's the anniversary of Jovan. Let me walk over here. It's the anniversary of Jovan Fresco being murdered by the Metro Enforcement Agency. We're gonna honor him. It's also his birthday. We're gonna honor him. It's Michael Sego's birthday, who was murdered by another Winnebago County Sheriff's Deputy, Officer Pobjecki. We gonna celebrate his birthday. We gonna celebrate his birthday, celebrate his memory. Let me show you. Bring it over to here so people can understand. April 16th, 2016. This is a regular occurrence in this city. These racially motivated murders, these racially motivated killings and shootings. April 16th, 2016. Now, 2021, April 10th. Winnebago County Sheriff's Deputy murdered somebody. April 16th, 2016, Metro Enforcement Agency murdered Valencia Jovan Fresco. His family still going to court cases, still trying to get some kind of justice. It's 2021. It's 2021. They still trying to get justice for people who just rented cops. These was just rented cops. Look how far out they extend this sick thin blue line, this sick back to blue theology, this sick back to blue philosophy. They extended to rented cops. Mark Barmore. August 24th, 2009. Mark Barmore and Mark, we gotta get a fresh one up here for Mark. Mark Barmore was killed. That's when they started the Winnebago Boone Integrity Task Force. That's when the task force that's now investigating these two shooters over the weekend, it was created after the murder of Mark Barmore, where two officers chased this man into a church. Let me turn this around. Hold on, this right. They chased this man into a church and murdered him in a church in front of children, in front of adults that was in there. They murdered this man inside of a church. Officers who did it, no jail time, no prison time. One of them, they both retired, got pensions from got paid from the city. Come on, man. I'm gonna bring us back over here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring us to the other side real quick. My hand's a little cold, but it's okay. I'm gonna bring us to the other side so people can really understand. People really need to understand this. That's the problem. People don't understand. Geno Washington. And what year this is? 2019. So over there, that was in 2009. Hello. I'm doing all right. That was in 2009 over there, 2016. We in 2021, it was just two shootings. 2019, Eugene Geno Washington died in Winnebago County Jail in custody. Family still has no true answers about what happened to him. They swept it under the rug. Come on, let's walk across here. So I want people to understand, two shootings this week. This is not an aberration. These things that's going on in these other cities, Rockford is the microcosm for these things. It is no city in this nation that is worse for these issues than Rockford is, than Winnebago County is. This is here, Kerry Blake, December 30th, 2018. 2018, that was 2019 over there, 2016, 2009. It's 2018, we in 2021, it was just two. Justified. They justified this murder. Murdered him in his home. Murdered him in his home. You know what they said? They said he hit the officer with a pole. They said he hit the officer with a pole. The officer who murdered him with his own personal weapon. He brought his personal weapon in. Kerry Blake. December 30th, 2018. Rockford, Illinois. Logan Bell. October 11th. 2012. Look at that. 2009, 2016, 2019, 2018, 2012. Logan Bell, October 11th, 2012. Teenager. He was a teenager and they murdered him. It's a teenager. Logan Bell, October 11th, 2012. So I want people to know this is not an aberration what's going on in Rockford. Hold on, let me turn this around. This is not an aberration. This is not an aberration. This is these things that happened over this weekend. Even though because it was two, people may think I can't believe this is happening. Oh, this is just a aberration or a blip. No, this is regular business for the Rockford Police Department, for the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department. You go through this Facebook page and you watch the videos of constant harassment, of constant terroristic actions, of constant brutality, of constant assaults, of constant batteries. You go back and watch. It is no police department. It is no sheriff's department. It is no state's attorney. It is nowhere. It is no establishment or institution anywhere in this nation that is more corrupt than the ones that it is in Rockford, Illinois, and in Winnebago County. It may be some that are equal. But there is none more corrupt. This city is the microcosm of all the things that people are out here protesting in Brooklyn Center, in Minneapolis, in Chicago, in all of these cities, in Miami, all the cities that's going to go out and protest this weekend, all the things that they protesting, this city has in abundance. Two people. Hold on. Because some people probably ain't even heard about what happened to Jose. So we want to make sure people know. Tell Tom stop hiding behind Facebook. Stop hiding behind Facebook. He's the mayor. He's the mayor, and he won't even have a press conference. Has he called this family? Has he spoke to this family? Oh, let me bring y'all this. I want to bring y'all to another. I'm just gonna give y'all a tour, and then once you go to the tour, I'll end this live. Demetrius Bennett, November 1st, 2012. It was a domestic call, just like what happened to Falcon. They murdered him. Domestic call. He was not called to be murdered. They murdered him. To meet this 2012. That's 2 in 2012. Remember, we told you it wasn't an aberration. We told you it was not an aberration. This is what the Rockford Police Department does. This is what the Winnebago County Sheriff's deputies do. You know what the mayors do? You know what mayors in this city do? They hush up. They hush up. They be quiet. Don't let nobody lie to you. Everybody who has been a part of these establishments and these institutions leading up to this is complicit and part of it. Complicit and part of it. Tell the mayor to have a press conference and address the constant racial injustice in the city. Jose Gonzalez, Mexican. I promise you, if he was not a Mexican young man, if this was some white kids and they were somewhere out by Boyland and they ran, they wouldn't get shot. I promise you that. I promise you. Come on, we're going to keep on walking. I just want to give you all a tour real quick. We're going to go to these other ones. I don't know how much the phone battery going to last. I might not be able to hit all of them, but we're going to see which one. We're going to hit at least these 4. So that way people don't think this is something. I know what people think, that this don't really happen that often. Oh, it don't happen like this in Rockford. This not happening in Rockford. We want to make sure you see. Come see what Rockford really look like if you had never seen it before. We're going to show it to you. I hope I'm audible too. Michael Sago Jr. His birthday coming up on Friday. We're going to celebrate him. Michael Sago Jr. Teenagers. Ooh, almost tripped. I got to tie my shoes up. Michael Sago Jr. Teenager. Another teenager. There's 2 teenagers that we got on these poles. 2 teenagers. They just shot a teenager this weekend. I know what you're thinking. You thought it was an aberration. Nope. They shoot teenagers. That's what they do. The chief of police, go back and watch and listen last year. The chief of police said that he discards teenagers, that he has no use for teenagers, that he's no use for minority teenagers. He throws them out. They're just going to haul them off to jail, so it's not a surprise that his corrupt police officers are out here trying to murder them. Michael Sago Jr. October 1st, 2011. Look at these dates. Every year. 2000s. This ain't 1990, 1980, 1970, 2000s. They murdered him. He was shot in the back. Officer, Deputy Sheriff Pope Jackie. He tried to run for, then Pope Jackie running for office. Should be ashamed of his damn self. Mikey Guzman, last year, ran over by South Beloit police officer. Police officer ran this man over, murdered him. If me or you would have did this, we would be sitting in prison. We'd be sitting in prison for it. No justice for this family. This family is still grieving. They had to hear that it was justified what happened. That it was nothing that it was nothing wrong that this officer who ran there, who murdered Mikey Guzman, who ran this man down. This man had family, kids, children. Excuse me. I know he had a daughter. I don't know if he had multiple children. I don't want to speak out of turn. Excuse me. And I wish that, again, other things too. Unfortunately, with all of this stuff going on, it's hard to have the connection with families that we would like, and we're trying to work on those things better. Man, we loud ass cars. My fault. Taking me out my bag. This is last year. Again, ran him over, and it's a myriad of ways. You see, it ain't just shooting. It ain't just dying in custody. It's a myriad of ways that these things happen. So I want to make sure here. Let me see this one. Here, Eddie Patterson right here. You see? November 5th, 2017. Every year, 2017. Eddie Patterson, murdered. The city tried to pretend like it never happened. Only you'll never hear him say Eddie Patterson's name, but you will see him say Jamie Cox's name. Put a picture of Jamie Cox up. Pretend as if only one person died that night. As if Eddie Patterson wasn't murdered. This city right here, this city hall is the one who do that. The racists that work inside that building. And I would know. We see them every day. I would know. This is Joseph McCormick, 2019. Died inside the Winnebago County Jail. They said it was suicide. His family said that they just spoke to him the day before. He didn't seem suicidal at all. Inside of Winnebago County Jail. Myriad of ways, myriad of places. Commonality is Winnebago County. Commonality is Rockford. Winnebago County Jail is in Rockford. Rockford is the seat of Winnebago County. This city right here is murders as citizens. Murders as citizens. This city right here. And the mayor had press conferences about it. That's it. We outside.